but maybe a little bit of muffling. Anyway, guys, a lot of the way people were doing it with peanut butter jars is they put it in the washer or the dryer, and I actually tried that in a piece of Tupperware, and after 2 washer cycles, I just didn't have any kind of finish that I was looking for on the knife. There are a few scratches here and there, but I wouldn't call it stonewashed at all. So about 3 hours of elbow grease, shaking it this way, is what you need. Anyway, all you need to stonewash one of your blades is to have the ability to take apart the knife and put it back together. That's the main thing. If you're not sure about that, be careful, because you can void your warranty, of course. And other than that, all you need is a empty plastic bottle, as I mentioned, or if you want to go with something like this that'll last. I plan on doing a lot of parts, so I was perfectly willing to sacrifice this to the knife steel gods. So anyway, all you do here, guys, is you go out and you get some rocks. You get some round rocks. They should be round and smooth. And I'm just going to dump out some there for an example. I have the whole thing almost halfway full, I'd say. And that's another thing I learned from a video, is one guy had a problem with his not working too well, and it looked like he had so many rocks in there that the knife blade didn't have room to move. And that's going to be a problem. You want those knives knocking around and banging around and have a little room to move. And as you can see there, those are well oiled. The only thing other than the knives that you're going to polish or stonewash and the rocks and a container that you need is the oil. Most people were using WD-40. I am not a WD-40 guy. I had some break-free CLP, which is my go-to lube that I used. I'm sure you could use rim oil. I want to say Jay Davis started with soap and water when he first used it, but that was not with this technique. That was with his ceramic polishing media. That's a pocket clip. That's my other Benchmade Rukus pocket clip, if you can make that out in there. It's black with the Teflon, and I do see maybe a little bit of that Teflon's coming off. It already had some scratches, guys, so I thought I would see if doing it this way would work on coated blades and or parts. I did a review on a Klotzli folder from Switzerland. If you guys have watched that, I hope you will if you haven't. It's a great knife from Switzerland. It has the black Teflon on there. Now, it's a 10-year-old knife, and in my younger days I preferred Teflon and coatings, and I think that's one of those things a lot of us go through. And I've learned that I do not like coatings or pretty much anything about them, so I may remove that Teflon with some sanding and then throw it here in the old stone washer. But guys, what you have here is a water bottle, you have rocks, you have oil, and you have the parts you want to stone wash. Then all you need is some elbow grease. You can turn it, you get a little bit of action there, you can shake it, you get a lot of noise, a lot of action. You're going to need at least, you know, I don't know, I haven't checked one before, say, the 2-hour mark. This one is probably 4 hours. And when I say 4 hours, I don't mean total. I'm talking 4 hours watching TV, messing around with other stuff, shaking more than half of the time probably. And I actually put my headphones on to be able to watch TV and not have to listen to all of the noise. But guys, for one of those cheap do-it-yourself home projects for your knives, it's so cool. Now, I've had some stonewash knives from the factory, and I am just as pleased with this. I feel like it's a factory quality stonewashed finish that cost me nothing other than the things that I already had laying around the house and some rocks I went out and collected by the railroad tracks at work. So if you have some lube, and I know you have an empty container of some kind, some tape, you can do this. Now, the stainless steel on this container here, it's pretty thick. It's not going to break. Not going to get stuck through with a knife. If you're using Tupperware, guys, and you're shaking this thing super hard back and forth, of course a knife could stab right out through it, and you could hurt yourself pretty bad. So if you're going to do that with a plastic container, wrap it up good with some tape, wrap it in a towel or a thick, heavy canvas type shirt, and tape that, or wrap it up and tie it with some paracord real well before you go shaking it near your body or putting it in your washer or your dryer. And if you do it on the dryer, guys, no heat. Obviously, oils are flammable. Most of them can go into vapor form if you're putting it in a hot dryer, and then you've got it in a closed container. You're basically working with a small bomb there. So don't go throwing those things in your dryer full of oil, guys, unless you have a no heat setting. And just be real careful there. I didn't want to screw with that. I didn't even want to mess with that. So I tried the washer. Our washer is not real new or tough, and it didn't have much effect. So I went to the old elbow grease, and guys, it's awesome. The first blade I did was a less expensive knife, a little neck knife made by Mantis, probably a $25 knife that was a stainless finish with very good turnout on that as well. And I may do a video on that knife, but I don't know. I wanted to test something that was less expensive that I wasn't worried about versus, say, my Rukus, my 615 mini Rukus, that is. And once I had that finish turn out so well on the Mantis knife, the less expensive value knife, I thought, man, I'm going to do this. Excuse me. So J. Davis 882 has been a big inspiration as far as ideas with both knowledge from him on sharpening and great ideas as far as just pumping up the aesthetics of your knife. This knife, I replaced the pocket clip, but as you guys know, that black is going to scratch off there, and as soon as you have a scratch or two, it just looks really shitty. So I've got the other one in there, and if the black doesn't come off, I will strip the black with light sandpaper, and I'll go back with the Stonewash. But with being able to do these little things, you can actually keep your knife looking like new. And if that's something you guys care about, and it's a fun piece of the hobby that anyone can do because it's affordable. One thing that Jay mentioned is it hides the scratches. And this blade was well used, guys. You can still you can still kind of see, but it covers up all that stuff. Now, I showed this in the first video I did on the stonewashing. I had some rust spots right in this area behind the thumb stud. So what I did, stupidly, a couple years ago, was take the corner of a square sharpening stone, a medium Arkansas stone, and sort of knock that rust off. Now, did it work? Yeah. But did it scratch my blade badly? Not badly, but yes. So I should have used a wire brush, Scotch-Brite, some oil, some break-free, and gotten that taken care of, but I did not. So there I have that. It's really good lighting, surprisingly, for seeing those scratches, because to the naked eye, they're really not that visible anymore after the stonewashing. And once the knife's open, as I said in the previous video, it's hidden. So with this knife, one thing I saw, another thing that I learned from other YouTubers was that these little crevices here, like where the grind is done, might not get polished if you don't have some smaller stones. So guys, in my rock tumbler, I have a mix of stones. You saw when I poured them out there. I also have a couple, 2 or 3 in there that are even bigger than the ones I dumped out. But a couple of those stones, guys, are really small, smaller than a dime. I could probably sit 3 or 4 of them on a dime. I tried to find quite a few small rounded ones like that so that I would get in all those areas, and it did. It did. Up here by the pocket, or by the thumb stud, though, which I could not get those off, it was tough for it to get right up against the thumb stud. So around that area, you do still see that. But didn't really knock the jimping off too bad. The jimping still feels very good and usable. Very firm grip. But the blade, guys, it will tear up your blade. If you don't have a coarse stone of some kind that you can really bring back an edge that is very dull, or a chip or a broken tip, then you don't want to do this. If you have the ability to take care of your own sharpening needs, then absolutely, guys, go for it. And hope to bring you some more reviews of some do-it-yourself projects that I've done, and knives in general. And I mentioned on my other review, my first review, which was a Klotzli knife, I'm going to try to do some rare knives that maybe there haven't been a lot of reviews on, if any. And I'd rather not do reviews on, say, my RTAC 2 or my Griptalion Benchmade. I'd rather do reviews on something that hasn't been talked to death. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you also get inspired like I did. Go watch Jay Davis 882's channel, guys. Like I said, he inspired me on this one and many others. And he's just a really smart guy when it comes to this stuff, and has very enjoyable videos. So a little plug there for him, because he does deserve the credit there. And really inspired me just to even do these YouTube videos, because I'm so excited about how basically this first project turned out here. So I figured I might as well do some knife reviews too, since I'm going to be set up to link videos. So thanks, guys. Please sub, and have a great day.